This is Ruthie. Ruth, can you tell me the sports you played?
I played softball, soccer, and cheerleading.
Okay, and can you tell me what happened to you in high school?
What happened to me, I turned up to have a herniated disc on my lower spine in January of 2013.
Okay. What did the doctors have to do?
They had to remove my disc and fuse my vertebrae together.
Can you tell me some thoughts you had before the surgery?
When they came in at that point, I was scared because I didn't know what they were going to do because it's mainly for the spine. But at that moment, I was also hungry, so my hunger kind of took over.
Okay. What about after the surgery?
After the surgery was painful, really painful. I wasn't able to move. I had to be still for 24 hours. Yeah, it was a hard recovery.
How did you respond to this change, like emotionally, and your behavior? Did it change?
Oh, clearly, my emotions were everywhere. I was limited to doing things. I had to learn how to walk. I fell into a depression mode because, I didn't really have much to do. I felt like if I was in prison.
During your rehabilitation, do you remember what was the hardest part about your rehab?
The hardest part was basically everything. Everything that I had to go through, physical, mentally. It was just hard.
Did you seek out any type of support to help you through this experience, like friends or family?
Any types of support groups? No. At that time, I was still in high school. My friends weren't really, talking to me as much because they had, their life to do. I was mainly alone. And that's what kind of led me into depression because I didn't really have anyone to talk to during the day. And then during the evening, I just wanted to be alone. But I didn't have no support groups, but the hospital did provide me with a psychologist. She helped me to find ways to not feel so alone. She gave me also resources for meditation, how to release some stress out of my body, and find comfort within myself.
Okay, so you mentioned how the psychologist gave you a bunch of exercises to help reduce tension. Can you explain more on what exercises she gave you?
Yeah, we first started off with breathing techniques. After some breathing techniques, we went into looking at meditation and yoga. She suggested for me to take a yoga class so I can release some body stress, which I did. I took a yoga class. My favorite one that would help release some tension is the child pose. Mainly the yoga class was mainly used for my back, to stretch out my back, release some tension that I have in there, and meditation.
Do you feel like these techniques helped with your recovery?
Definitely. They did help. After I do a yoga pose, like example the child pose, I feel less tense in my lower back and more movement. I'm capable of doing more movement after them.
So I know you love your psychologist now, but when you first were assigned a psychologist, what did you think about it?
I didn't like it. I was telling myself I don't need one. I'm not crazy. They mostly, well, psychologists are for people that are crazy and need some help. But I didn't think I needed it. But clearly things did change. And now I see them differently than what I did in the beginning.
Did you guys form a nice relationship? Like, do you feel like you can trust her with everything and anything?
Oh yeah. And she became like one of like a family member to me, that if I needed any help, she's always a phone call away, as well as my family members. I can trust her with anything that I tell her, and she gives great advice.
Did you guys set any types of goals for either your performance in how to walk and eventually running, any types of long-term goals or short-term goals?
Long-term goals was for me to exercise without causing pain and strain into my lower back. I'm still in the process of that long term, but by short term was getting me to do a plank longer than 5 seconds into 2 minutes.
How long is your plank now?
My plank now is 4 minutes long, which is not that bad.
Well, it's 2 more than what your short-term goal is.
2 more. I did push myself onto that, but I did it carefully so I don't hurt myself.
It's been a little over 2 years and a half since your surgery. Have you ever, during your rehab, and now, have you ever thought about going back into any sport that you used to play?
During rehab, I did consider going back into playing softball, but at this moment, it's not my interest. Right now, at the moment, is still working on to my lower back, doing some strengthening, then going to the gym, and I kind of want to keep it there for now.
How does it feel going, starting a new routine and working out now? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because I'm capable of doing things that I wasn't able to do between that 2.5 years. My body doesn't feel that much tense as it did. I'm now able to do more weights that I can handle. The running has, increased. I'm able to I'm able to run longer than I did when I started. So I'm able to run 30 minutes before my back starts to hurt, and before it was like after 5 minutes I had to stop, and I feel great.
Is there any advice or tips you would want to give to other athletes that have suffered any sorts of injury?
Not just because you ended up with an injury, don't let it bring you down. It's okay to talk about your feelings. When you're trying to go back into the sports, don't rush yourself, because instead of healing properly, you're gonna mess something up. And I know this from experience. I pushed myself to the limit, to the point where I got paralyzed from head to toe. So just take it nice and slow and listen to what your psychologists, doctors, and therapists recommend you to do. It will be stressful, but just hang in there and you'll pass through it.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.